Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Yuji Itadori was an Uchiha and Hyuga. Now, before I go on, I just want to say one thing. This is not the 2.1k special, no. But other than that, on the manga of Jujutsu Kaisen, I am on 148, I think. I don't remember, but yeah. Not the point. I also want to say one thing. Go subscribe to Iconic or either Anime Sensei. But yeah. Am I gonna say anything else? Not really. But let me now go on. Play the no, just kidding. I don't even have an intro, so you people were like, "Oh shit, intro? You said it?" No, I don't have an intro. So I mean, saying here, that's the only intro. I wasn't even gonna play music or anything like that. I'm too lazy to actually go make an intro or something like that. But screw that. But not the point. Now, let me go on. So, we go into, Yuji still going to school and all that. And still, talking to those two, kids and all that. Of course, that gym teacher still kind of makes him play the freaking ball thing. Yuji still meets, talks to his grandfather and all that. And of course, this is where Yuji just talking to him until, he dies. And of course, this is where Yuji, in this one, actually starts a little bit of crying. A little bit. Just one tear falls down. This is where, he does get, talk to Fujiwara. And Fujiwara does ask him about where is the finger. And Yuji says, the finger. This is where, Yuji says that he gave it towards those two not guys. The girl and the guy and all that, because they were gonna do some experiment or whatever. Or not even an experiment. I mean, you can say an experiment, whatever. This is where, Fujiwara says, "God damn it." So, of course, this is where they rush to school and all that. Yuji still kind of, jumps through the window and kicks and all that. But yeah, of course, trying to help the two somewhat friends of his. But yeah, of course, this is where Yuji does that. Of course, he still eats the Sukuna finger, and, a lot of things still go the same. But we go into Gojo's POV. Gojo says, or present time, not POV, present time. And Gojo says, we have an execution for you since you ate the Sukuna finger, but then we're gonna pause the execution for you to eat the fingers. So yeah, that's where Yuji says, kill me now. And Gojo says, what? What do you mean, kid? Don't you want to live a little bit longer and help people? Yuji says, screw that. Just kill me already. This is where, Yuji sounds a little bit darker than, original canon. This is where Gojo says, nah, you must be just really kind of see the situation. No, come on, kid. Just, come on, let's just do this whole thing. That's where Yuji says, God damn it. But yeah. Of course, is where, I should also mention Yuji's hair is, somewhat pink. Still pink. But, yeah. So, of course, is where, Gojo says, so we're gonna let you go. Don't do anything, and also do not try to kill yourself or anything like that. And that's where Yuji looks at him and hates his life. This is where, Yuji's kind of a little bit more darker than, original canon. This is where Yuji, he still kind of does the, ashes and kind of cremates his father and all. Not father, grandfather, but yeah. And there's a where, Yuji says, oh man, I'm sorry. But yeah. There's a where, he still kind of got, this promise towards, the grandfather and all. It's just, Yuji didn't really care. He seems like he never cared. Well, he cared about the old man, it's just he didn't really want to care about the promise. This is where Gojo asked him who he cremated. Yuji ignored him fully. This is where, Gojo was confused. He has heard from, Fujiwara that he was kind of, smiling and all that. But on this, he seems a lot more depressed. Like he went through more than just, his grandfather dying. Or someone close to him dying. Is where, Yuji, he, puts the, I think the ashes in the vase and all that. And this is where Yuji says, are you just gonna stand there, or are you just gonna keep annoying me for what reason? This is where Gojo says, oh, I want to see how many fingers you can eat, so eat this finger. Yuji says, if I just kill myself, would that even matter anything? It doesn't really matter, does it? An early kill will be done. I don't really care about being a vessel to anything. As it were, well, Gojo says, come on. Come on. Besides, you're gonna die anyway. It's better just to live a little bit of life. Yuji looks at him, ignores him, but this is where Gojo grabs him from the collar and says, come on, kid. And this is where, well, Yuji just says, give me the finger then. This is where Gojo says, great, now eat it. This is where Yuji, he sees it. And of course, he just like says, no, I shouldn't use it. This is where, well, Yuji just eats a finger, and of course, you can kind of like a power kind of went up, but then it kind of still is Yuji, but yeah. He then switched with Sukuna, but yeah. This is where Gojo's surprised. He said, how many fingers can you eat before Sukuna comes out? This is where Yuji says, so wait, if I switch with Sukuna, could I get an early kill? This is where, well, Gojo says, whoa, kid. It's not that easy, okay? So how about let's just go to Jujutsu High? Besides, you gotta move anyway. This is where Yuji says, fine, let me go back home. This is where, well, Gojo says sure. This is where, well, Yuji is kind of packing up things, and yeah. Of course, there's some things that he packs up. First, it's kind of a book, and this book is going to be important later, but yeah. Second, it's a weird black sword that actually gets sealed into something else and not actually carried on him. And of course, is where, well, where it got sealed, it was in his arm. Yes, he knows sealing jutsu. Now, mention how he does know that. Now, of course, this is where Yuji, he comes out with like backpack and all that. And this is where Gojo says, you're not going to pack up that much things? Just a couple things or what? Yuji says, I mean, if I'm just going to die early, it doesn't matter if I pack up anything. This is where Gojo says, fine, let's go. This is where, well, Gojo did try to talk to Yuji multiple times, but Yuji really didn't even talk to him that much. Gojo even tried to make jokes, tried to make fun of Yuji, tried to even annoy Yuji, to the point where any person would just kind of get annoyed by Gojo. But Yuji didn't smile, not even once. Gojo sighs and even asks Yuji why he won't smile. Yuji says it's a waste of time. This is where, well, Gojo says, wait, you said something? This is where Yuji wasn't even gonna say anything. And this is where Gojo sees that. He's like, this kid, so difficult. He's like Megami, but way more difficult, more kind of emo. Weird. Of course, where when Yuji kind of said that, he kind of got a little flashback of, well, when he was younger and kind of smiled to someone. Of course, he didn't see the person fully because he shook his head. He just says, goddamn memories. This is where Gojo kind of heard that and says, memories? This is where, well, Gojo says, you want to talk about your memories? This is where Yuji says, well, no. This is where Gojo says, kid, can we just talk for a little bit? Yuji says, no. This is where, well, Gojo says, fine. So, of course, they get to, well, what's it called, Jujutsu High. Of course, Yuji is fighting against what's it called, the green thing. Of course, Yuji dodges the attacks like an expert. For some reason, Yuji is very fast in dodging it. Like if he trained before. Now, Yuji is 16, not 15, okay? So I'm going to change his age to being 16. But yeah. Of course, he dodges the attacks pretty easily. Like if he had trained from when he was younger. But of course, this is where Yage and Gojo notice that. Now, of course, Yuji is not using his hands. His hands are right now in his pockets. And this is where Yuji dodges it. And even kicks the, what's it called, cursed corpse. This is where, well, the cursed corpse got up and all that. and of course gets ready to fight against Yuji again. So of course this goes on for a while, and of course Principal Yage says, you know, if you don't answer that question, then your what's it called, execution, well, will come early. Yuji says, screw it, go ahead. Yage was surprised. Why is this kid really wanting to die? Something's not right with him. Then Yage asks Gojo about anything about Yuji. This is where Gojo says, I even tried talking to the kid and he's too close. He's too dark. I don't understand anything from him. He's like Megami, but instead of Megami being dark, at least he talks a little bit, but mostly ignores me half the time. This kid just full on blows, just ignores me. This is where, well, Yuji thinks about it, and then he says, I just want to help a couple people, I guess. Probably. Yeah, I don't really care if I die or not. Helping a couple more people might. I don't know. This is where Yuji just gave a half-assed answer, and this is where Yagi understands that Yuji seems like he doesn't understand anything. That's not really the point, but yeah. This is where, well, when the cursed corpse was about to hit Yuji again, Yuji says, this thing isn't even gonna kill me, it's just gonna punch me. Such an annoying pass. This is where Yuji says, he kind of pulls out his hand, and this is where Yuji kind of goes through one-handed hand sign. Fire style. Fireball. He blasts a fireball at the cursed corpse, burning it in an instant, while Yage and Gojo just widen their eyes. Yuji says, so fucking annoying. Of course, this is where he kind of waves his hand just to get rid of the smoke from his face, but yeah. Of course, Yuji puts his hands back into his pockets. Now, of course, Yuji is Yuji is wearing a black hoodie. So yeah, black hoodie, black pants, some kind of black sandals, okay? Yuji wasn't really wearing shoes. He just didn't care. If he died, he died. He just doesn't care. Of course, is where, well, his jacket was, well, his hoodie, hood was right now on top of his hair. He's just kind of covering up his hair and kind of covering up his eyes a little bit. So, yeah. Of course, where Gojo's kind of smiling and says, so, interesting. This kid knows fire curse energy, I guess so. Didn't see any curse energy and add into it, but so interesting. This kid is so much interesting. So, can we keep him, Yage? Yage says, fine, but it's your fault if he does anything stupid. Gojo says, aw, so mean, fine. Isn't where, well, Gojo says, you're accepted in. Now you're under my protection. So, Yuji, you can call me Gojo-sensei. Yuji looks at Gojo, looks at Yage, and says, so wait, I'm not gonna kill myself. I'm not gonna get executed. This is where, well, Yage says, no, you're Gojo's problem. Whatever Gojo does with you, just whatever. This is where, well, Yuji says, God damn it, in his mindscape. This is where, well, Gojo says, come on, call me Gojo-sensei. Come on, Yuji, not Yugi. Yuji, come on, Yuji, come on, Yuji, come on. Just call me Gojo-sensei. Ha. Yuji says, if it kinda makes you happy, no. There's a word, Gojo says, that doesn't make me happy at all. Yuji, come on, call me Gojo-sensei. Yuji kinda ignores him and walks away. That's where Gojo says, oh no you don't. You're going to, well, the room you're gonna be kinda sleeping next. This is where Yuji says, so, are these missions dangerous? This is where Gojo says, no. Well, the missions we're gonna make you start out would be not dangerous, since you have a habit to probably try to kill yourself or something like that. This is where Yuji says, that's not really what I was gonna do anyway. This is where, well, Gojo says, but yeah, you're just gonna be doing some missions with your teammates. Yuji says, well, and this is where Gojo says, yeah, your teammates. Your first teammate is gonna be the person you already seen before. Yuji goes, blink, 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 what? This is where, well, The door opens and all that. And he's like, why are you making so much damn noise, Gojo-sensei? This is where Fujigoro opens his eyes and see Yuji. Now Yuji looks at Fujigoro. Their eyes connect, but Yuji doesn't really have any emotions, like showing or anything. This is where Fujigoro is just kind of annoyed and saying, what the hell are you staring at? And this is where Yuji says, the. Seriously? Yuji said. This is where Gojo says, I thought you would be kind of happy to know someone. This is where Yuji says, can we just start this execution? I probably just want to die already. This is where, Fujigoro's kind of shocked to even hear Yuji want to get the execution over and just let him die. This is where, Gojo says, no, you're not going to die. You're going to be Sukuna's vessel, and then you're going to live for a little bit longer. Yeah. Yuji goes, blink, blink, blink. Okay, which one's my room? This is where Gojo says, this one. This is where Yuji opens it, closes the door, and takes a nap into the fucking bed. This is where, Gojo says, such an... God damn it. This kid is not very, how should I say, a very lively one or anything like that. He's like you, Fujigoro, but less you. More into being kind of emo a little bit, or depressed. This is where Fujigoro says, but he was kind of smiling and all that when I met him. Gojo says, either, the person that was cremated and all that, whoever it was, I don't know who it was actually. This is where, Fujigoro says, I think it was his grandfather or something. This is where Gojo says, but that won't really make you kind of that sad. I don't know. Just kind of keep an eye out for whatever Yuji's ever gonna do. This is where, Fujigoro says, fine. This is where, Yuji, we go into Yuji kind of sleeping and going into a dream. Yuji's kind of smiling. Now this Yuji's kind of like 6 years old. Kind of smiling at someone. Saying, hey, wait, yay. And kind of just smiling and all that. And of course, jumping around. Kind of standing on this tree and all that. And of course, someone was just kind of waving at him, saying, come on. This is where when Yuji kind of wakes up. Kind of was calm. Before he kind of wakes up, everything kind of goes dark and then red. He sees a bunch of blood. And then he just wakes up. He kind of breathes very heavy. Of course, having a cold sweat. He's like, damn it. Why? That's the only thing he says. But the next day happens, and of course, Yuji seems like he didn't sleep well. This is where Gojo says, we're going to go find our third teammate. And and also, Yuji, you seem like you didn't sleep very well. You want to go take a nap or something? Yuji says no. This is where, Fujigoro sees that Yuji doesn't seem that normal. Also, if you heard that glass thing, I'm just moving things, but yeah. But we go back into Yuji. Yuji's kind of looking around, and of course, he's seeing so many people. So many people that are happy, so many people that sometimes are angry. Some people that kind of have the same expression as Yuji. But this is where Fujigoro's looking not really around. He's kind of just on his phone. And Gojo's looking around, and this is where Gojo's waving at someone. Hey! Yeah, it's like, hey! This is where he's kind of waving at Nobra, but Nobra is just saying, damn it. Why the hell am I stuck with these three? She kind of just like, when she was walking towards him, blah, 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 and also kind of putting her stuff in that one locker or whatever. She's saying, so, my name is Nobra Kuru. I forgot her last name, goddamn. But yeah, this is where, she says, so I guess I'm stuck with him? Fujigoro, I forgot what she called him. Then looks at Yuji, but Luigi, why the hell did I call him Luigi? No, Yuji. Yuji kind of looks at her just with no expression. And this is where Nobra says, with you? And I'm stuck with a blindfold. Huh. How the hell did I get stuck with these three? This is where Fujiwara gets a tick mark. Gojo says, thanks. Thanks, Nobra. Yuji just shakes, like, what's it called? He kind of move his elbows up and down, saying, I don't know. This is where, well, he doesn't speak much, so yeah. This is where Nobra even realized that he didn't speak much. This is where Fujiwara says, so what are we doing, Gojo? This is where, well, Gojo says, we're gonna go do something. So, of course, they go to that building and all that, and yeah, because Nobra was very excited to go around Tokyo and all that. But, of course, they're at this creepy building. Yuji can feel somewhat the sadness, somewhat the cursed energy, but yeah. As it were, well, Gojo says, we're here to, well, to get rid of some cursed spirits. Now, Nobra and Yuji, you be the first people to go in, the only people, to see how your skills are. Now, Yuji, I know you don't have much cursed energy while learning anything like that, so I'm gonna give you this kind of blade. It's imbued with what's called cursed energy. Get it? This is where Yuji grabs it. This is where, well, before Yuji even grabs it, he kind of just says, can I use something else, or do I have to use this? This is where, well, Gojo says, you made actually a sentence? This is where Yuji just says, screw it, I'll take the blade. This is where Gojo says, well, no, come on, talk more sentences. This is where Nobra says, this is interesting. She just thinks in her head, she's like, this kid does not talk that much. And this blindfold guy is just strange. This kid is strange, and everyone's strange in this. Oh my god. So, of course, they go in, and of course, Gojo saying, come on, Yuji, just talk a little bit more. Tell me, Gojo-sensei, a little bit. Anyway, come on. God damn it. This is where Fujiwara says, I don't know what's wrong with the kid. This is where, well, Gojo says, you realize he's older than you. Wait, Fujiwara kind of looks at him and says, wait, what? He's 16, you're 15. This is where Fujiwara says, the fuck you mean? And of course, this is where, well, Gojo says, yeah, like I said, he's 16. This is where Gojo also says, also Nobra is 16, so I mean, yeah. You're the only one that's kind of 15 and being, how should I say, 5'9", taller than Yuji, but yeah. That's where, well, Fujiwara says, am I seriously the only kid here? This is where Gojo says, nah. Yuji kind of looks like he just turned 16. I don't know when, but it said on the paper he was 16. He wrote it that he said he was 16. It seems like he was too annoyed to even deal with me a little bit. So, of course, he decides to write things instead of talking. This is where, well, his handwriting is actually one of the nicest handwriting I've ever seen. That's what Gojo said. Fujiwara says, okay. So strange he is. He was one time happy when I met him somewhat. Well, not happy when I met him. Cheerful when he was with someone throwing the ball and all that. And ran back home or towards that hospital or whatever. But yeah. But after a while, he seems less and less kind of that person, wherever I met. So where Yuji, he's inside with Nobra. Nobra says, so, don't get in my way, Nobra says so to Yuji. Yuji doesn't comment anything, nothing. He's just quiet. Nobra is kind of creeped out with his, what's called quietness, until what's called. A cursed spirit was about to attack Yuji until its head just exploded off of, his body. Yuji walked away, silent. Not even you could never hear his footsteps. He just walked away. Now, I should mention what Yuji's wearing. He's not wearing that red scarf or anything. He's wearing, the same attire and all that, but he even asked for a hood. Just a black hood on, his back. And, of course, maybe kind of a blackish scarf instead of being red, but yeah. He's aware, that's all he wanted. His shoes, he wanted kind of black, but they kind of said no, but Yuji managed to turn them black. Now, Gojo's surprised how he even did that, but whatever. Of course, Yuji, he just walks away. The shoes should have made sound, but of course, Yuji kinda, it didn't make any sound, which Nobara was confused, but of course, she just ignored it and whatever. She wanted to do the same thing until, well, we go into the hostage situation and all that, and this is where Yuji says, I see, so it's right behind there. Punching it would hurt my arm somewhat. I'm just a pathetic weakling, I can't do anything. Yuji saying things. This is where, well, Yuji says, but at least I have to try, shouldn't I? Damn. This is where Yuji, he still does it, he still kind of punches through. And of course, he breaks through and all that. And of course, when the curse Sparrow kind of still tries to do hostage, Yuji cut his like eyes out, just like stab him out, and even cut his arm off. This is where the curse Sparrow is freaking out, and of course, well, Yuji kind of grabbed the boy. This is where, well, Nobara kind of says, Yuji. Yuji threw the, like, kicked the arm towards her. This is where she puts out a straw doll and still hit it with a hammer and blah, blah, blah. This is where Nobara is happy, and of course, like, celebrating after the kid is kind of went back home because of Gojo's help somewhat. Now, of course, this is where Nobara is saying, yeah, my first somewhat mission in Tokyo, and I did it perfectly. This is where Yuji kind of didn't say anything, which Nobara really thought that he would at least say something or smile or anything. Yuji's blanked. This is where, well, Fujigaro's also kind of creeped out with the silence, but yeah. This is where, well, Gojo says, good job, my students. Now, we're going to kind of train a little bit more. Or, not train a little bit more, but get some food. Who wants food? Nobara says, me! Yuji didn't say anything. He just kind of walked along them. This is where, well, Gojo says, Yuji, you want food? If you say no, then you can go back to Jujutsu High. Yuji kind of just takes a U-turn and walks away until Gojo grabs him from the collar and says, no you don't, you're coming with us. That's where Nobara just realized that Yuji seems like he wants to be distant, away from people. Well, not Nobara. Gojo realized that. Somewhat, a little bit. He wants Yuji to kind of be with his team and try to open up a little bit more. Yuji seems like he doesn't open up anything. Close. Now, of course, this is where, well, Yuji, he's just quiet a little bit. But yeah. Now, of course, this is where we go into the, what's it called? The still special grade and all that. That will still happen on it. But of course, Yuji will not really care about that one mom and all that asked for her child and all that. Because Yuji just doesn't care. For some reason, when the mom was kind of crying and kind of telling Yuji about kind of getting her son and all that, Yuji for some reason got a flashback of something. And of course, Yuji kind of grabbed his head and kind of shook it off. This is where Nobara and, well, Fujigaro kind of looks at him, kind of wondering what he had in mind. This is where, well, Yuji kind of just says, let's go. It's a stupid mission. This is where, well, Nobara and Fujigaro just hear what Yuji's kind of saying, but Yuji wants to be very quiet, but of course he can still, well, they can still hear him. Of course, Ichi kind of tells them about things and all that, but Ichi kind of is creeped out with Yuji's kind of quietness, very quietness. This is where, well, they still go in, and of course, the demon dog still just there and all that. And of course, this is where, well, Nobara is saying, oh, dog. And of course, this is where Yuji doesn't say anything about the dog. The dog looks at him, but this is where Yuji just ignored him. This is where, well, Nobara says, you can't be mean to a dog, Yuji. She tries to grab Yuji's, like, collar until Yuji says, let's go. This is where, well, Nobara says, calm down before you punch him on accident. This is where, well, Fujigaro is still walking around, and of course they come to the dead body. And of course, this is where Yuji, he kind of, well, Yuji, he kind of pulls out the sword. His arm just still gets cut off from the curse with the special grade. Of course, Nobara still gets taken, and this is where Yuji says, hey, Fujigaro. Fujigaro says, huh? They want Yuji. This is where, well, Yuji didn't care about the dead body. But this is where Yuji says, go find Nobara and try to escape. I'll try to use Sukuna or something like that. Or whatever. Is it where, well? Fujiwara says, no, I can't. Yuji says, you realize this mission was something to kill me. This is where, well, Fujiwara says, wait, what do you mean? I'm not stupid. Some elderly or whatever bullshit trying to kill me. It seems more of, well, something upper grade or whatever. Well, people should know about I'm being Sukuna's vessel or something like that. So, yeah. So go find Nobara and try to escape or whatever. This is where Fujiwara says, no. This is where Yuji says, shut up and go. This is where Fujiwara kind of heard the anger of Yuji's kind of tone, but yeah. This is where Fujiwara says, fine. But I won't be far. This is where, well, Fujiwara, what's it called? Yeah, Fujiwara still leaves and finds Nobara, and yeah, they still escape. This is where Yuji sees the special grade, and the special grade says, smiling at Yuji, and this is where Yuji says, so if I die, I die. Huh. Hey, you cursed spirit. This is where Sukuna says, yes. Are you gonna switch my body out? You realize you and I, what's it called? I would go find after that kid and kill them. If you switch me out. Yuji says, no, I'm gonna let the cursed spirit just crush our hearts, killing us together. This is where Sukuna says, what? What? Are you insane, kid? Do you not want to live? Yuji says, truly, if I have to tell you the truth, not the fuck really. This is where not Fujiwara, Sukuna says, are you fucking insane? I thought all humans wanted to live. Why are you so different from all of them? Yuji says, don't know. Have no clue. So, is a cursed spirit really gonna attack me or what? I hope it aims for my heart and just kills me in an instant so you can die along with me, fuck. This is where, well, Sukuna says, no you don't, you fucking bastard. Let me switch out, come on, you bastard, you can't just let it kill us. This is where Yuji says, I really don't care. This is where, well, Sukuna says, no. You bastard, you better fucking at least fight back. Yuji says, not really, I won't even fight back. This is where Yuji, he pulls out his hands out and says, come, kill me, you fucking cursed spirit. Sukuna says, no, you idiot, you're supposed to dodge. This is where, well, the cursed spirit rushes at Yuji with blinding speed and telling him to kill him. And of course, intending to kill him. I think I said that right. Yeah. Of course, where, well, when he tries to stab at Yuji's, like, well, take his head off, Yuji dodges. This is where Sukuna widens his eyes and says, wait, what? That thing was blinding speed. Could you easily seen him? This is where Yuji says, how the hell did he miss? This is where, well, Sukuna says, did he dodge on purpose? Or what the hell was that? This is where, well, the cursed spirit rushes at Yuji, still trying to kill him and all that. And of course, this is where Yuji, his arm is still kind of cut and all that. And of course, when the cursed spirit still blasts him on an attack, Yuji still not dodges, he still gets hit by it. But this is where, well, the blast was bigger and about hit Yuji. And Yuji says, well, it's time to die or whatever. This is where when Yuji was about to get hit by it, for some reason, his instinct was to block it with his arm or his hand, both of his arms. This is where, well, his fingers still get exploded, and Yuji says, what the? No, I just wanted to die. How the hell did I block that? This is where, well, Sukuna is wondering, what is he talking about? What is Yuji talking about? This is where, well, so the cursed bear says, this is where Yuji says, well, he hears a wolf sound and all that, and Yuji says, I guess it's time to just switch. Take over my body. If you kill me, if you just rip my heart off, I'm gonna switch my body and kill you with me. I don't care. I don't hesitate. This is where, well, Sukuna was released and says, you took me out, idiot. Well, even if you do manage to re-switch and all that and still kill me and all of that, I hope you die with me anyway. Or you really don't care about it, do you? This is where, well, when he still tries to, well, Sukuna still tries to make the cursed bear kind of fall along him. So, well, the cursed bear still attacks him, he still kills it, he still takes out the finger. And when Yuji doesn't come back, because Yuji is in some place, he can't really switch back for some reason. And this is where, well, Sukuna still fights against Fuchigoro and all that, but we go into Yuji's POV. Yuji's in a forest, kind of looking around, saying, this place seems so familiar. Why is that so familiar? He sees a kind of girl with blue hair, kind of long, well, kind of like, not blue hair, kind of, what's it called? Short, kind of black, not short, kind of long black hair, black eyes, and it's kind of wearing like this greenish kind of kimono and all that. She kind of looks at Yuji and says, Yuji-kun. This is where, well, Yuji says, Hakin? This is where, well, Hakin says, hi, it's been a while. You know, everyone would be kind of, what's it called, sad if you die. You know, it's terrible not to die and all that. Or, not Hakin. She didn't say to die or anything. She says, it's been a while. You should probably go help your friend. Come on, Yuji. Do it for me. I said, well, Yuji tries to go and grab her hand until he appears out of, well, that place. And of course, well, Yuji says, no, Hakin. Well, I'll be there soon anyway. This is where Yuji kind of switched places. And of course, where Yuji looks at Fuchigoro, Fuchigoro says, Yuji? Yuji says, well, I guess I'll die anyway. Screw it. He does die and all that. He doesn't tell Fuchigoro to live long or anything like that. And this is where, well, before doing that, he says, live long, Fuchigoro, or whatever. With this bullshit. This life was anywhere but hell for me. This is where, well, Yuji dies, and yeah. We go into Gojo still kind of being angry, and Shoko saying, calm down, Gojo, whatever. This is where Yuji, he goes into his mind and all that. And of course, this is where Yuji, he thinks he's right now going to the gates of heaven. Until, well, when he kind of opens his eyes and wakes up, he sees that he's not even in the gates of heaven, or the void, or hell. Because first of all, there's no fire around here. But then he kind of looks around and sees, well, Sukuna. I almost said Gojo for some reason. Sukuna. Sukuna says, you're awake, kid. I want to make a deal with you. Just a deal. You're a smart kid, aren't you? You know, if I make this deal, I return your heart. And, there must be other things you might want. Did you want powers or anything like that? Yuji says, you can go to hell already. Just let me die, you fuck. Zora, well, Sukuna says, seriously. You seem too intent in killing yourself. Why is that? Zora, Yuji says, none of your fucking business. You're a cursed spirit. I don't really give two fucks what you are. You don't really need to care about what I am neither. God damn it. Just let me die already, you fuck. Is where, well, Sukuna says, look here, you brat. I'm trying to be at least somewhat decently nice. So just hear me out. I will heal your heart. I will also, want to make a pact with you. A pact that if you ever need help, you will call out my name, and yeah. I will also be able to, well, be out there for 2 hours. That's where Yuji looks at him, and Sukuna says, fine, I won't kill anyone. Whatever. Yuji says, I don't really care if you kill anyone. That's where Sukuna says, so, you want me to kill people? That's where Yuji says, sure. That's where Sukuna says, oh, what an interesting kid you are. Huh. Okay. So you want to make this deal? You also have this, contract. If you try to summon me for any bullshit thing, then I will... Well, this binding will kind of kill us both. Yuji says, so if I summon you for just to make my laundry, we will both die. This is where Sukuna just realized what the hell he was talking about. And this is where he says, wait, kid. It seems you're intent into just dying. In which I don't really have an intent to die neither. But it's better if we don't die. So come on. Just live a little longer. Like, don't you want to help the humanity of the world from my fingers and all that? This is where Yuji says, not really. This is where, well, Sukuna says, come on. Don't you want to see your friends? Don't you want to have kids or anything like that? Don't you want to grow old or whatever? This is where Yuji says, you're quite a fucking annoying. Fine, whatever. This is where, well, Sukuna says, thank God, this kid seems so intent to just die. This is where, well, we kind of, Yuji still wakes up and says, what the hell was in my fucking head? So, of course, they still have that somewhat of a pack. Yuji can somewhat remember the pack, but he's not really gonna call on it. Because, yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Gojo says, huh, you're alive, kid. This is where Shoko's like surprised. She did get a t-shirt for him and all that to wear. This is where Yuji says, not really. Sukuna just revived me for some bullshit reason. This is where Gojo says, huh, you were really intending to just die. This is where Shoko just says, damn, this kid really doesn't care if he dies or not. Huh. This is where Gojo says, but Yuji, wouldn't you have any regrets or anything like that? If you were to just die? You know, poor Nobara and also Fujiwara would be sad if you died. Yuji looks at him, breathes in and out, and says, I don't care. And this is where, well, Gojo says, damn it, he's still so distant. Why is that? This is where, well, Shoko says, whatever. Put on the shirt and yeah. This is where, well, Yuji does and whatever. But yeah, of course, this is where, well, Yuji says, I guess you don't actually want to bring me towards, what's it called, my team. Because we're walking the wrong way. This is where Gojo says, exactly. Because I want to at least train you until the exchange run. But yeah. So we go into a time skip, and of course, Yuji is still kind of seeing Gojo kind of teach him about cursed energy. While Yuji kind of keeps looking at this, of course, where Yuji activates one thing of his eyes. One of his eyes, he kind of just like put his like, hand onto his eyes to activate something. Now, of course, Gojo didn't notice this because this thing is not activated by cursed energy. This is where, well, when Yuji was looking at what Gojo was doing with cursed energy and all that, this is where, well, Yuji seems to be able to copy it. This is where, well, Yuji stops the eye activate, but yeah, he activated, well, his Byakugan and Sharingan to look at how that he used it. This is where when Yuji is actually says, I can try to test that out, can I? This is where Gojo says, yeah, just punch me. This is where Yuji, he puts cursed energy into his arm. This is where Gojo is shocked. And when Yuji tries to punch at what's it called, well, Gojo dodges the punch. Or not dodges, he just used Limitless, but yeah. This is where, well, Gojo's impressed. He says, interesting, you learn pretty fast. But I still want you to watch these movies to see your emotions and blah, blah, blah. Because emotions are connected to cursed energy, but yeah. So yeah. This is where, well, Yuji says, fine. This is where, well, the bear thing, he still kind of shows it and says, this thing will punch you in the face if you react anything to it. When Yuji touches it, nothing's reacting to it. This is where Gojo says, show a little bit of emotions, wouldn't you, Yuji? He tries to grab Yuji from, like, his face to kind of move his, like, mouth a little bit to kind of be happy. This is where, well, when Yuji notices, Yuji just moved his head far away from Gojo's hands. Gojo says, fine, just watch the movies. Don't worry, I'll be back. This is where, well, 10 or I don't even know how long minutes were there. But of course, Gojo still appears and says, yo, Yuji. This is where Yuji's watching the movie and ignoring Gojo. Gojo says, god damn it, he ignores me. This is where Yuji, he's not even drinking the soda or anything like that. or eating anything. He's just watching it. The movies, he's like not even interested much in it. He's like staring blankly into it. This is where, well, Gojo kind of snapped his fingers and says, "Yo, Yuji." He pokes Yuji and Yuji says, "What do you want?" This is where, well, Gojo says, "Ah, you're awake. I thought you actually fell asleep with your eyes open," which is insane to even think about. Yuji says, "No, I just intend not to, well, kind of pay attention to you or anything." This is where, well, Gojo says, "At least you're being honest. But whatever, I want you to come with me." This is where Yuji says, "No." Of course, when Yuji opened back his eyes, he's now looking at, well, Jogo. Jogo just says, "What the hell? Isn't that Sukuna's vessel?" This is where, well, Gojo says, "Yeah," and blah, blah, blah. They would still kind of be, like, talking mad shit and all that. While Yuji is not even interested in this fight. Jogo can see this, and he's saying, "What's wrong with the kid? I heard that he was, well, how should I say, not that happy, but he seems really not that happy to be here." Doesn't matter. Well, Gojo says, nah, he's very happy to be here. "Hey, Yuji, you want to smile?" Yuji looks at Gojo and just says, "Fuck off." This is where Jogo kind of just chuckles a little bit and says, "I like this kid. He's actually pretty interesting." This is where, well, Gojo says, "Fine." Well, whatever. So, of course, Jogo still makes a domain expansion, while Gojo makes his own domain expansion, still kills this dude. Or not really kill just cut his head off and blah, 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 takes his head off. Of course, this is where Hanami still takes, Jogo away, but yeah. This is where Yuji says, "So boring. Why am I here exactly?" This is where, well, Gojo says, "Come on, Yuji." Whatever. Of course, this is where we go into a time skip and go into Nanami, and Nanami still meets Yuji. And you can see Yuji is not a happy kid, or an angry kid, or a sad kid. He can't really tell about Yuji's expression when Yuji met Nanami. And of course, this is where Yuji has his hands in his pockets. This is where, well, Gojo says, "Good luck with him. He's a little, how should I say, not talkative. So you mostly are going to be talking more than him because he's not going to talk at all. But thank you for doing this favor, and yeah, bye." That's where Yuji just looks at Nanami, and Nanami looks at Yuji. Now, of course, this is where Nanami actually also gets creeped out by the silence of, well, Yuji's presence. But yeah, of course, this is where they go to that mission about, Makihino, or whatever his name is. Still kind of causing trouble and all that. And of course, when Yuji's in the movie theaters and all that, just looking around, it's where, well, sorry about that. Yuji's just looking around. And of course, it's where, well, Nanami says, "Okay, Yuji, can you see the footprints?" Yuji kind of didn't say anything, but walked towards it, looks down, keeps just following the, footprints. And this is where Nanami says, "Really quiet, and I actually can't hear anything from his shoes. He's so silent. He's stealthy like a ninja. Seems like if he has trained his whole entire life." This is where, well, we go into Yuji just going outside, and of course, where Yuji, he dodges with a car. He just like looking around, and of course, Nanami does see the cursed spirits. This is where Yuji, he grabs something from his pockets, and throws something really fast while even looking. And this is where Nanami did not even see what it was, and it stabs into one of the cursed spirits. This is where, well, Nanami looks behind and sees that cursed spirit kind of whining and all that. And of course, what it has is a kunai, stabs into his skull. This is where, well, Nanami is shocked. Well, even Yuji just even looking or anything, showing some kind of ninja skills. This is where Yuji says, "Also, don't try to kill them. It looks like they are human, human made or whatever. Human cursed spirits." This is where Nanami says, "How do you know that?" Yuji says, "From that one cursed spirit that has the, well, watch." That's where Nanami says, huh? But then realized that Yuji wasn't looking at them. The reason why Yuji is not turning back or anything is because he has one of his eyes activated. He's the Alkagon. He can see anything. So, of course, Yuji says, what do you mean? I does see it with a quick glance. It's where, Nanami says, huh? Interesting. This is where, Nanami still takes out that one and all that, kind of chopping his legs off, but yeah. This is where he does explain his curse technique and all that. Of course, this is where, Yuji kind of pays attention and sees that the curse technique is actually pretty useful if the enemy isn't as strong as these weaklings. So this is where Yuji does point out some weaknesses to show that it can actually be kind of defeated from some things. This is where Nanami says, huh? How the hell did you even find those weaknesses? Whatever. So where Yuji just says, because not everything can be cut in a 7 to 30 radius or whatever it's called. But yeah. It's where, they get to, they still give the, cursed spirits humans, sort of called Shoko. Shoko explains everything, and yeah. Now, of course, Shoko does explain what they are, and yeah. Now, of course, this is where Shoko still kind of tries to comfort Yuji, but can actually see that Yuji's very silent. And of course, when she does try to talk to Yuji a little bit and all that, about Gojo's attitude and all that, and not to take it serious that much, one time, Yuji kind of just looks at her and kind of nodded slowly, and just walked away. This is where, Shoko can see that Yuji doesn't have much human skills, or he just doesn't want to talk that much. Whichever is both of them, but yeah. She thinks that the silent is a nod yes or whatever. This is where, Shoko just says, but whatever. Yuji, don't be saddened or whatever. And this is where Yuji doesn't even show sadness or anything like that. It's where, it's just dead ass quiet. And this is where Shoko says, okay, I'm gonna take that as a yes, you kind of understand. This is where she says, well, I'm gonna just hang up. Okay, bye. This is where Nanami is actually very confused. Very confused with Yuji. Why is he quiet? Why isn't he kind of saddened about the human spirits? And how could he do all those things while even his teachings? He's actually confused with this kid. Is this kid even a first year? Could he be a second year? No. He is Sukuna's vessel, but Sukuna isn't going to train him. Now, Sukuna in his mind is, in Yuji's mind is confused because Yuji's skills are in top tier shape. He doesn't know why this kid is so different from everyone else. He doesn't understand anything. The only thing that he understands is Yuji is not afraid of death. He embraces it way too much than a normal human. Or not even a normal human. Any freaking living creature. This is where, it's like Sukuna kind of realized that Yuji seems like he just wants to just die. That he doesn't have anything to live for. That he even tries to push everything away. And yeah. This is where, he's not kind of wrong, but yeah. I'll mention why Yuji does that. But yeah. Of course, this is where, Yuji still kind of is with Ichi and and Nanami, Nanami still kind of go fight at the, still fights against Mahito, but yeah. Of course, Ichi is very scared of Yuji because he's so quiet. Yuji's like unbelievable, just quiet. This is where, Ichi just says, okay, Yuji, we're gonna do this mission, and yeah. So find this kid named Junpei, but yeah. Of course, this is where he kind of explains that if he's a cursed user, kind of just have to kind of kill him. Yuji kind of nodded his head slowly because it seems like he doesn't care about killing. So where, Ichi was also kind of told by Yuji's kind of quietness and not caring about killing anything. This where, Yuji kind of noticed, and this where, they go, and Yuji still meets Junpei, but yeah. Original canon was still happening. Yuji kind of talks a little bit more with Junpei because he can Well, Yuji can see Junpei's kind of like sadness, anger, and even just hatred towards some people. And even kind of anger towards himself a little bit. This is where Yuji kind of talks to him a little bit. And of course, where they kind of still talk about movies and all that. And yeah. Now, this is where Junpei kind of asks about his, like, either parents. With that kind of specific question about his family and all that. Yuji kind of stays silent. Dead ass silent. Because he gets a flashback, a memory. And this is where Yuji kind of grabs his head and says, no. This is where Junpei says, was that a sensitive topic? This is where Yuji says, no, it's fine. It's nothing. My parents are fine. They are they're in a happy place. Yuji said in such a kind of sad and depressed tone. This is where Junpei kind of notices. This is where Yuji says, but that's not the point. Wanna watch a movie? This is where Junpei says, sure. Junpei doesn't understand with Yuji because, yeah. Now, Junpei is 17 while Yuji is 16. So, of course, they still watch a movie. And Yuji still leaves, but before leaving, he sees something. Something with the Byakugan. A man tried to put a Sukuna finger. So he kind of, before leaving with what's called Ichi, he kind of says, Shadow Clone. Or Kage no Bunshin. That's where he makes one clone of himself appear. And of course, when the Sukuna finger was placed and the cursed spirit was still coming to kill, Yuji the clone still kills kills her spirit and kind of takes the Sukuna finger and disappears. But yeah, this is where, well, the clone just says Amaterasu and burns the Sukuna finger, burning one less finger down. This is where, well, Sukuna was kind of just seeing all of this and was kind of wondering, what did Yuji do? And of course, when Yuji's clone kind of pooped away, and Yuji was kind of like, not even napping, he was just looking at the ceiling. He got his memories of his clone. And of course, this is where Sukuna got also the memories, a little bit. Since he is inside Yuji, he kind of got the memories. And saw the finger burn. That's where Sukuna says, Yuji, what the hell did you do? That's where Yuji says, you can talk? I thought you would just stay silent and wouldn't annoy me. Sukuna says, I saw that memory. Yuji says, I had to find a way for you to shut up half the time. What memory did you see? The memory of me burning that fucking finger to a crispy chalk of nothingness. Sukuna says, you bastard. You find a way how to just get rid of them? But it's impossible. You gotta get someone to die like you as a sacrifice. But you found some way. A way to get rid of them. How? Tell me now. Yuji says, shut up and just let me go to sleep. This is where Sukuna still tries to annoy Yuji. And Yuji says, you're so fucking annoying. Luckily, I made something prepared for this. This is where, well, Sukuna says, what are you talking about? Now, they go into this, my escape because Yuji was going into his my escape. And says, you're so damn annoying. This is where, chains were wrapping around Sukuna. Saying, what is this? This is where Yuji says, if I ever die, you won't be able to heal my heart or anything like that. Won't be able to heal my body. I'm about to just seal you into my body. So when I die, you come along with me. Wouldn't that be fine? That means also you'll be able to shut up and let me fucking sleep. This is where, Sukuna says, you're not normal, are you? Tell me. What makes you normal from a normal person? Yuji says, nothing. Nothing makes me normal. It really doesn't matter to you. This is where, Sukuna just says, did you have a rough life childhood? Did your parents just decide to give up on you? Did they... This is where Yuji just says, shut up. This is where, Sukuna says, oh, did I hit a nerve spot? Did your parents really not like you? Yuji says, you don't understand anything about anything. Swear, something came behind Yuji, kind of like this reddish glow. Yuji kind of noticed it and kind of stopped. He kind of calmed himself. He says, no, that can't be. I don't want to talk to them. No, if I do anything stupid, I'll be able to talk to them. That's bad. This is where, well, he calmed down with the anger and kind of pushed the chakra away. This kind of orangey chakra. This is where Sukuna says, what the hell was that? Yuji says, oh, none of your damn business. Now shut up and be still. This is where, well, it covered up what's called Sukuna's mouth, and of course Sukuna cannot manipulate to kind of be talking. He can still somewhat make a mouth, but it ain't gonna be talking. So yeah. This is where, well, it also can't really see, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, not a mouth, but yeah, it can't really do anything. This is where, well, the next day happened. Yuji still kind of goes to find Junpei, but yeah, Junpei was still in the school, and Yuji did tell Junpei about maybe to fight back another and kick the shit out of whatever. This is where Junpei does it, but this is where, well, Mahito just realized that, well, the finger's gone. It didn't kill his mother, and his plans are going just shit. Yuji gets there because, yeah, he knew where it was, and kind of feels this strange just sensation of like something's gonna happen bad. So of course Yuji goes to the school, and of course this is where Nanami wonders where Yuji's at, and this is where, well, he realized maybe Yuji decided to go walk or something. But yeah, when Nanami is going to the school and all that, but yeah, to find Mahito or whatever, but yeah. This is where, well, Junpei is kind of fighting against Mahito by using his, what's it called, Shinki or Shinigami or whatever the hell is this, called whatever, the spirit creature, but yeah, try to fight against him. Mahito says, you can't really hurt me, but I'll be able to kill you. This is where, well, not really. So yeah, what's it called, Junpei was kind of like still fighting against Yuji, but yeah, Nanami tried to stop him, but whatever. Of course, this is where, well, Yuji still sees that Junpei was about to get turned or something by this cursed creature until Yuji, he activated his eyes, revealing his EMS Monikyu Sharingan. This is where, well, the cursed bear was kind of shocked with his eye, and Junpei was also shocked. This is where Yuji says, Kamui, and Kamui's Junpei away. This is where, well, the cursed spirit cannot touch Junpei and says, what the hell did he do? Yuji, he breaks out of the fucking hand and all that, and burns it. That's where Yuji says, oh, that won't be necessary for you to understand. This is where, well, Mahito rushes at Yuji's kind of intending to fight him another, and trying to attack him another, and Yuji's dodging. His speed is incredible. He's actually now using his speed. This is where when Nanami gets there, he sees Yuji just dodging Mahito. But of course, Yuji's just using his one eye, with his EMS, dodging, seeing the attacks. Seeing the what's called attacks go towards him, but this is where he's using the Sharingan to kind of protect the attacks and yeah, read the movements and all that. This is where, well, Mahito says, what the hell did you do? How are you this strong? Who the hell are you? You're not Sukuna's vessel, are you? Why can't I send Sukuna from you? This is where Yuji says, Susanoo. A Susanoo armor appears right near Yuji, all being black. Well, yeah, black. This is where, well, something appears. Something like a veil or something. And some kind of fiery pattern appears, hitting Mahito. And of course, Mahito was like, what is this? This is where, well, Yuji says, oh, you don't need to worry about this. This is where Yuji says the Tsunaki blade or whatever it's called. He kind of says this is called the Tsunaki blade. I can seal anything, even you, fuck. This is where, well, Mahito says, what do you mean? He gets sealed in really fast. Yuji, he turns off the Susanoo and says, you saw it, didn't you? None of me. You saw the power I have. Don't tell Gojo. Here's where Nanami says, why wouldn't I? You know I'm a teacher. I have to tell Gojo about this. Yuji says, fine, tell him whatever. This is where Yuji says, Kamui. This is where Junpei appears and says, what the hell happened? Wait, what the hell? Yuji, what happened? Yuji kind of sees what they call Junpei, and Junpei's one eye sees Yuji's red pattern eye. Now, Yuji's eye is complete different. His eye, it's just a crimson fiery red. But yeah. That's why Yuji says, you can go back into living normal, Yuji. Or not Yuji, Junpei. Or you can come with me and be a Jutsu sorcerer or whatever the hell it's called. Junpei says, live normally, be with those assholes. Or, I'll be a Jutsu sorcerer. Yuji says, whatever. Talk to him or something. Yuji walked away, but yeah. Yuji kind of used that blade for not even the first time. He used it the second time. Yuji, when he walked away from Nanami and was called Junpei, he started kind of breaking into tears. Yuji says, I used it. I promised myself I wasn't going to use it again. He kind of grabbed his head and said, damn it. Not this again. Damn it, brother, if you were still here. I hope you were proud of me a little bit. Well, yeah. That's where Nanami says, are you okay, Yuji? Because Junpei and Nanami said, walk towards him. That's where Yuji says, yeah, I'm fine. Leave me alone. That's where, well, Nanami can see something's wrong with Yuji. He didn't hear what exactly Yuji said. That's where, well, a tear did fall on the ground and it was kind of wet at that spot. That's where Nanami says, did he cry? For what reason? This is where, well, he doesn't understand Yuji much, but yeah. Of course, we go into a 1 month time skip. Of course, Nanami did kind of enter what's it called. Well, not Nanami. Gojo still enter what's it called. Not still. He kind of entered Junpei to be in Jutsu Sorcerer. And they trained Junpei and tried to train Yuji, but Yuji didn't want to at all. Now, of course, this is where, well, they go towards the exchange event, and when they get to the exchange event, with Kam, Yuji, he decides to actually train with his sword, this like black sword, and Gojo has seen the sword and wonder where Yuji got it, but when he tried to ask Yuji just ignored him. This is where Yuji been just training with it, and of course it does ignite to crimson red flames. And of course, Gojo has seen it before. He has watched Yuji. And when Yuji kind of realized Gojo was kind of watching him about to use the sword, he turns it off and walked away. This is where Gojo realized that Yuji must have seen her. But how? This is where Yuji's using his Byakugan to look around, so no one could see his movements. So of course, Yuji has to train in such secrecy that not even Gojo even knows about it. But this is where, well, we go into the exchange event. Yuji has a sword, like, next to his waist and all. Well, Junpei wonder where he got that sword. Now, of course, they're walking, not being dragged into that container and all that. By Gojo, but yeah. This is where, when they get to, well, what's it called? How should I say? Bleh. Why can I speak? The exchange event. Of course, the Kyoko and Tokyo students are looking at each other. But of course, they see, well, Gojo, Yuji, and Junpei. But they don't know about Yuji still being alive, so yeah. That's where Gojo still gives the, what's it called, Kyoko students gifts. That's where Urahime says, what the hell, Gojo? Gojo says, oh, I'm sorry for not giving you any presents. I'm sorry. That's where Gojo almost gets punched, but realized that, well, not realized, he has limitless on, so yeah. This is where, well, she's angry and annoyed. And of course, Yage and the other old ass dude kind of comes in, yeah. And of course, where Yaga says, Gojo, who the hell did you bring now? This is where Gojo says, I brought in Yuji and Junpei here. But Yuji, see, he's alive. He tries to grab Yuji from his hood and tries to pull it back until Yuji just tries to slap his hand away. Yuji realized that he cannot slap his hand away. But this is where he moves his head away from, well, Gojo. This is where Gojo says, you're making this a little difficult, Yuji. Junpei, can you do this for me? When Junpei tries to grab what's called Yuji's hood, Yuji manages to dodge. In such an angle that it kind of surprised people. Yuji seems to be skilled in dodging things. Does it wear well? Yuji says, I can remove it myself. Gojo says, then do it. Does it wear well? Yuji says, but I don't want to. Gojo says, fine. Yeah, I just realized it's a Yuji. This is where, well, the old man says, how is Sukuna vessel alive? That's where Yuji says, God damn it, why is everyone so goddamn loud? Shut up, old man, or die already. This is where, well, the old man says, huh? Did you just say something? Yuji says, hey, old man, have you ever heard of, I can switch with Sukuna any damn time I want to? And, I hope he kills you first. I don't care if I die or not. So, good luck with Sukuna. This is where Gojo says, no, Yuji, don't switch with Sukuna. I know how much you don't give two fucks about your life. But, that doesn't matter. This is where the old man just sweat dropped to realize that this kid can really give two fucks less about him just dying or not. This is where Yaga says, damn it, Yuji. This is where all of them just got almost on guard because of Yuji just really not caring that much. He had this kind of expression to be like, I don't give two fucks. Let me go find it. So, Yuji had this expression of like, I don't give two fucks if I die or not, while activating his EMS. This is where everyone kind of got on guard when he did that. And Gojo did know about when Nanami did see the eye. Of course, where, well, Yuji turns it off and says, whatever, this is bullshit anyway. I don't even want to be here. This is where Junpei says, Yuji, you can't really do that. That's so mean. You could have scared people. This is where all of them are right now on guard. And when Yuji kind of stands somewhat closely, not really close at all, near the group. That's where, well, the old man says, was that a threat? Yuji says, old man, if that was a threat, you would have been dead a long time ago. This is where, well, the old man says, oh, okay. You know your execution will go. Something went so fast towards him that Gojo had to block it so fast using Limitless. He put his hand right in front of the old man. A kunai was right now almost embedded into the old man's head. Like so close to it. Like the kunai was just inches from it. Until, well, Gojo had to grab it. Not really use his Limitless. Grab it from the, the kind of, not the sharp part. So yeah. This is where the old man just realized that Yuji could have really instantly murdered him. This is where Yuji says, shut up and die already. This is where, well, everyone just got more on guard because Yuji seems like he is not the type to just fuck around with. This is where Junpei says, Yuji, you can't just do things like that. Yuji says, so what? If I die, I die. I don't give two fucks. Old man really just wants to really be talking a lot of shit. If he dies, guess what? If I die, I don't care. If he dies, he probably just had regrets. Stupid ass old man. Hurry up in this stupid change fence so I can go fucking end my damn misery life in this bullshit. This is where, well, everyone just kind of sweat draws where Yuji's kind of cussing and kind of angry and all this bullshit. But yeah. This is where, well, they were kind of confused with how Yuji is so calm, angry, and at the same time, just annoyed with this shit. This is where, well, Yage kind of explains about the exchange event, and when they go to the 5-minute thing, Yuji says, hey, white. This is where something comes out of the ground. And when Junpei was kind of going with his, what's it called, the Kanami, Fujigoro, and the others, white, something came out of the ground. Something went white, and his eyes were just yellow, and his green hair was showing. Saying, yes? Did you call for me, Yuji? It's been a while you called me. I thought you forgot about me. That's what Yuji says. No, I didn't forget about you. I just don't want to do a lot of things. But, can you go spy on the other team and report any information? I probably feel like the old man wants to kill me or something. Not if I kill him first. White says, got it. He disappears. Now, this is where, well, this white creature is White Zetsu. Yes, Yuji knows how to make a White Zetsu. Or not make it. Actually, someone else created it for him. Now, of course, is where Yuji says, I can probably think what's it called. No, I shouldn't say their name now. That's where, well, he was about to thank some people about who created White Zetsu. But yeah. Now, of course, is where Yuji, he goes along, and yeah, when they get there to talk about whatever they're actually thinking and planning, that's where Fujigaro talks to Maki and all them others. And of course, they're thinking about the plan and all that. And this is where Maki then asks Yuji about the blade. Yuji says, it's broken. That's where she says, what do you mean it's broken? That's where Yuji says, it's broken, I have to cut that place. Yeah, it's broken. That's where Maki just says, seriously? Fuck's sakes. Who the hell broke it? You or Gojo? That's where Yuji says, Gojo. That's where all of them just sweat drops. The fact that Yuji is like sending straight answers. Like really not beating around the bush. So he didn't say Gojo, he said himself. So Maki says, tell me why I shouldn't just kill you. Yuji says, do it then. You have nothing to live or nothing to care about anything. So Maki is surprised to even hear the answer. Yuji seems like he doesn't care about anything. That's where Maki says, whatever. That's where, she then asks what to call Junpei about his abilities. Junpei does say it. So Maki also asks for Yuji's abilities, but Yuji doesn't say anything and just says, I don't know. That's where she gets a tick mark, but then again, she can't really kill him because, well, this is Yuji, and Yuji thinks like he doesn't give two fucks if he dies or not. But yeah, of course, we go into exchange vent, and of course, Yuji says, I can take out whoever, wherever I have to fight or whatever. That's where, well, Maki says, take out Toto. That's where Yuji says, who? Maki says, you don't really need to take out the person, you just gotta distract them. For a little bit. That's where she kind of smiles, knowing that Yuji's probably gonna die or whatever. Or kind of feel lots of pain from Toto, but yeah. That's where, well, Yuji seems to show no emotion. Not even a smile back or whatever towards Maki. Maki is kind of creeped out, and when she kind of asks Fujigoro or Nobara about it, they say it's normal and you will probably get used to it. He's actually extremely quiet. And she also asks Junpei, but Junpei kind of says he's kind of nice. He's nice to me because, well, I don't know about you guys, but he's kind of more talkative than you think. If you're interested in a topic. Pretty much, he doesn't talk that much to Gojo Sensei or anyone else unless it's something stupid and he doesn't care. This is where, well, they say, ... Seriously? Fujigoro, what's it called? Fujigoro and Nobara are about to ask about what that is until Gojo says, begin! This is where they're running through, and of course, where, well, Todo still appears and says, hello there, who's gonna be able to fight me? Ha 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 ha. This is where, well, Yuji appears, already kicking him right in the head, smashing him into a couple of trees. This is where all of them are shocked because they thought Yuji was behind them, but Yuji's speed was incredible. This is where Yuji says, well, I gotta be taking out this thing. Gorilla, isn't he? Huh. Weird. Gorilla, half human. Don't care. This is where Yuji, he pulls out his sword and says, whatever, if it's a gorilla or not, I'll kill it. This is where all of them are kind of shocked. They've been hearing that Yuji's gonna kill it. This is where Maki says, don't kill him. He's a part of the goddamn exchange trend. He's one of the students. Even if I even let you kill him, you realize that killing is kind of forbidden. That's where Yuji says, and I should just really not care. This is where Maki just realized that Yuji doesn't care. Killing and nothing is really nothing he really cares about anything. This is where, well, Todo says, so, you'll be able to be the one to fight me. Yuji did put his sword back and says, yeah, now let's see. Of course, where Maki, Fuchiguro, and Junpei kind of went with each other, and the others went with each other. So yeah, it's where Yuji did get what's it called White Zetsu's kind of information about all of them trying to kill him except for Toto, this gorilla thing, and yeah, Yuji says I should kill that old man. Well, whatever. This is where Toto says, I guess you'll be able to fight me. Let's see who's stronger. Yuji says, okay, let's see who's stronger. So of course Toto is rushing at Yuji with blinding speed and trying to punch at Yuji. Yuji dodges multiple attacks. Toto, every time he tries to punch at Yuji just dodges. This is where Toto says, you should be punching, kicking. I mean, that kick that you kicked me was pretty hard. Unless you kind of broke your leg. Yuji says, no, I can perfectly walk fine. This is where Toto says, then die then. Yuji dodges and Yuji says, how would I mean, dying doesn't sound that bad. Toto kind of stopped and says, what the hell's wrong with you? But whatever. Tell me, Yuji, what type of woman are you into? Yuji says, ... Yuji says, I don't know. I don't care. Do I have to take a long break in thinking? This is where, Toto says, come on, tell me. This is where Yuji says, what type of women are there? Toto is shocked and says, the type of woman that... he starts trying to tell Yuji about this. And this is where, Yuji almost hears a bullet and was about to get hit by it. And Yuji, he doesn't dodge it, he just grabs the bullet. And then an arrow tries to shoot at him and grabs the arrow and says, what the hell are these things? These things seem real. He just flicks the bullet towards, the guy with the blood user and almost gets hit. He's like, what the hell? He grabs the arrow and then throws it at, what's called Maya. And Maya almost gets hit by it. Like, what the hell? He seems so strong. That's where Yuji says, so, what? This is where Toto says, you serious don't understand anything, do you? What the hell have you been looking at? Yuji says, a wall, I guess? I don't know. This is where Yuji's trying to think and saying, what the hell is this question? Such a tricky question. This is where, Toto says, if you don't answer, I will kill you in the next, 3 minutes. And this is where Toto says, and none of you dare to attack him. This is where all of them say, god damn it, Toto's this fucking problem. This is where, Miwa and also Mekamaru are about to attack Yuji, and everyone's getting ready, because, he had only 3 minutes. Yuji is thinking, the hell should I even say to this guy? And death? I don't mind it, I really don't care. If I die, I die, but whatever. This is where, Yuji is kind of just thinking, and then he says, I wonder if White has an answer. Hey, White. This is where White appears and says, yes? Do you have an answer to this man's question? What was the question? What type of woman are you into? White says, the plant? He says, tree. That's where all them face plants say, what the hell is that thing anyway? This is where, Toto says, a tree. What the hell are... Okay. Toto says, okay, it seems like you are too dense to even realize anything. And I'm surprised. You seem strong, but you seem like you don't care. Yuji says, I still don't understand. White, can you understand anything? White says, oh no, I didn't understand the question that much. But you realize I'm only a creation, so I can't really care that much about human emotions that much. That's where Yuji says, fair point, you can go back. And this is where White says, got it. He teleports away. Or not teleports, he sinks back into the ground. That's where all of them are shocked. Yuji says, so am I gonna die or something? Don't worry, I'll put my hands out and don't worry, I die. That's where Yuji's waiting to get hair or anything. That's where Toto says, you seem like you don't care about death. You seem that you welcome death too much. And why is that? Yuji says, nothing, none of your business. Come on, get your best shot. This is where all of them are getting ready. And of course, this is where Maya, she's actually rethinking this. For some reason, Yuji seems so familiar to her, but she can't think of anything. This is where Toto says, fine, then I guess I have to kill you. This is where he rushes at what's it called, Yuji. And this is where, well, we go into, well, Toto decides to punch Yuji, but this is where we go into something, like a back, into something, well, something happened. Yuji falls over, but it's not Yuji. It looks like a 6-year-old Yuji. Yuji says, ow, what the, god damn it, why the hell did he hit me that hard? This is where the person, his name was called, Hyan? Yeah, no Hyan. Neji, I'm gonna call him Neji. Neji says, cuz, you know, you still gotta be stronger, Yuji. You know, no one's gonna be holding back on you when you grow up or anything. So yeah, besides, you have to be the clan heir anyway. This is where this boy has, well, black hair and, well, what's called pale white eyes. And, well, not palish white, they're kind of lavender a little bit, but yeah. Of course, he has, like, a bandana on his, like, head and all that. And his hair is kind of short. This is where, well, he says, come on, Yuji, get up. Don't worry, I won't hurt you again, I promise. This is where Yuji says, are you sure about that, Neji? This is where Neji says, yeah, I promise. I'm not gonna hurt you. Besides, you're my little brother. And I feel like if I would have hurt you too much, I feel like, you know who would probably try to kill me. Itachi. This is where Yuji says, what? Itachi's not a bad person, little kid Yuji said. This is where Neji says, well, he probably would have killed me in an instant if I keep hurting you. Since, you know, he's the eldest. This is where Yuji says, oh, no, he's not a bad guy. Come on, I want to train more. This is where Yuji gets in the stand of, well, the Hyuga stand and all, the gentle fist. And this is where, well, Neji says, then let's do it. Besides, don't worry, I'll keep up with your speed. Or, I hope you get stronger anytime. And if you do get stronger when you're older, challenge me. Let's see who's the strongest in the gentle fist. Little brother Yuji. This is where we go back into the present time. When Yuji gets punched, Yuji then, with reflex instance, shot his eyes up. Like he just opened one eye, and then of course it just has these veins popping up. And of course his eye went into, well, a bluish kind of color. Byakugan. He says, Byakugan. And of course with instant reflexes, he stabs two finger jabs into what's called Toto's kind of chest. He says 2 palm, 4 palm, 8 palm. This is where, well, Toto kind of stumbles back and says, what the hell was that? He can barely feel some of his, like, body parts. He's like, how the hell was that? He tries to look at his arm because that was mostly the attacks kind of hit him in the arm, but also in the chest. But this is where he moves his arm and he can't even feel it. He can't feel anything from his arm. That's where Toto says, this guy, did he lie about wanting death? Yuji then looked at his hand and said, sorry, Neji, but I can't fight. This is where, well, Yuji is having his Byakugan open, but we go back into Kid Yuji. Yuji is like saying, ow, that kind of hurts. Neji, stop being so mean. This is where Neji is saying, well, stop moving, you little brat. This is where, well, Neji is saying, besides, at least you're getting better at it. You learn about 4, what's it called, palms. But, you know, there's more than just 4 palms. There's 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, and maybe if you get lucky enough, you can do 256. If you're lucky enough. He kind of pokes Yuji in the head, and Yuji says, ow, This is where Neji kind of chuckles and says, don't worry. Besides, don't tell Itachi anything about this. This is where, well, Yuji says, fine. I won't tell him anything. Big brother, not big brother, brother Neji. Neji says, good, little Yuji. Yeah. And of course, where Yuji has the instinct to dodge like an arrow and a bullet, super fast. And of course, where a laser beam and a sword were actually going towards him also. And this is where Yuji says, rotation. This is where all their attacks kind of collide with the rotation. But of course, the blast gets blasted away, kind of reflected into somewhere else. The arrow gets pushed somewhere else, and the bullet gets reflected somewhere else. While the sword from Miwa kind of gets shattered into a million pieces. She then feels like she gets hit by multiple things. That's why she tries to get up, but she can't even feel her body. That's where all of them are shocked. Yuji's right now, well, when I've been on top of what's called Miwa, kind of having his leg down on Miwa's chest, and was about to strike her, kind of fully ending her life, until Toto kind of rushes and tries to punch at Yuji, and Yuji dodges. This is where, well, we go back into the flashback. This is where, well, Neji is saying, so how do you think about the rotation? That is how you use the rotation, Yuji. Yuji says, wow, that's so perfect. Do you think I will ever be able to do that? This is where Neji says, you'll probably be able to when you're older. Besides, there's two types of rotation. There's the one that you use as a shield, the one that I just used, or the one that you can use as a sword. Besides, there's some people in our clan that can actually use it as a sword. You know, just like your father. But yeah, don't worry about that. That's where Yuji then just smiles and Neji says, right. This is where, well, we go into Yuji dodging an attack from, because Mai started shooting him. And Yuji just blocked all the attacks with just ease. And this is where an arrow tries to shoot at him. Yuji grabs him from mid-air and throws it back at, the blood user and hits him right in the arm. The blood user says, damn it, arm, this guy's too skilled. This is where, Mechamaru tries to attack Yuji, and Yuji says, rotation, sword style. This is where he uses the rotation as a sword and attacks multiple palm strikes at Mechamaru. Right now, kind of disrupting the connection and all that. And Mechamaru falls over blankly. So yeah. Of course, Toto, the blood user, and even what's called Mai are realizing that they're kind of fighting against something that should not be fighting against. As more, we go back into Yuji's kid self. Yuji his eyes were always special because he had one Sharingan and one, Byakugan. This is where, that's why they call him the next heir of two clans, the Uchiha and the Hyuga. Even though the Hyugas and Uchihas are kind of lower down in this small village, other clans were kind of impressed with Yuji because there's some clans around his village. But something happened over time, so yeah. But of course, this is where we go into when he was kind of still younger. Yuji still had the Byakugan. His Byakugan was a kind of lightish blue color, not a lavender. Which bunch of people saw that Yuji would be able to be stronger than the normal Hyuga, because he was mixed into a Hyuga and Uchiha. This is where, when Yuji was born, he was that strong. Kind of shaked up somewhat the clans, but yeah. Of course, where, it was not because of his Uchiha blood that his eye turned blue a little bit. It's because of what he contained. He just didn't contain Uchiha and Hyuga blood, but he contained other Kekkai's and bloodlines. He contained the Yuki clan, he contained the Senju, he contained the Namikaze, Uzumaki, and other clans. The Yuki must have mixed with his Byakugan and decided to change his eye into being blue instead of a palish lavender white or just a lavender color. So that's why he was considered to be stronger, because in his gentle fist style, he could have used ice style. So of course we go back to, Yuji dodging an attack and then hitting the ground with the gentle fist style, and creating an ice wall, blocking Toto from punching him, which Toto managed to break through, but of course when he breaks through, multiple jabs were hit into his hand, putting both of his, hands into numbness. So yeah, they're pretty much fighting against a professional fighter in the gentle fist, but even deadlier when it can use ice style. So of course, Yuji's other eye is closed, the Sharingan one, but yeah. Of course, we go into, Yuji still fighting against, the three of them. And of course, that blonde hair girl went to go do, other things, but yeah. When, Megami and, Maki and the others kind of get to where, they get to the spot where Mekamaru, Miwa, and even, those are the only two they find kind of knocked out. But also, not, someone else is kind of finding cursed spirits. A girl with white hair and bluish hair kind of does see how Yuji reacted a little bit, but yeah. Of course, she was also kind of new towards Kyoko, but yeah. But of course, this is where she was kind of looking for creatures and all that, but yeah. Of course, she kind of fought against Junpei, and Junpei did try to make her go to sleep, but of course, this girl managed to freeze him, and of course, where Junpei says, "God damn, it's fucking cold." But yeah, we go back into Yuji fighting against him. Now, of course, we go into how Yuji is using ice style. Yuji is using an ice manipulation. Every time he kind of hits the ground, he kind of creates ice wall, so it can block away from the bullets and even the arrows. Of course, this is where, let me remember her thing. So his name is Naritoshi. And of course, this is where, he almost get hit by ice javelin, but yeah. He was kind of shocked and he was like, God damn it. But yeah. Of course, Toto's right now trying to kick at Yuji, but yeah. But of course, we go into another flashback. Yuji is right now kind of seeing how Haki is using ice style, fighting against Neji. So of course, where Haki is also an ice user and was fighting against Neji. Of course, Neji and Haki were kind of the same strongest, and they were the same age. They were 15 age. Well, not 15, there was 12. But yeah. Of course, we go into Yuji kind of using the gentle fist and ice style release kind of fast. This is where, not Neji. Yuji goes into hand size and says ice mirror. And kind of turns behind, Notorice or whatever his name is, from the Komo clan. This is where he says, wait, what the hell? He looks behind him. And of course, where Yuji kind of strikes the ice mirror. And of course, the ice mirror behind the Komo clan says, wait, what? He gets hit twice. And of course, he coughed up a little bit because even with the gentle fist, it had ice in his, in the hand to kind of be more deadlier. Of course, this is where, the Komo clan his blood started being freeze. Of course, this is where he had to use his technique to kind of heat up his blood and get ready to fight into, hand-to-hand combat. How should I say? Yuji. But this is where Yuji, he sees that, Toto tried to kick at him, and this is where Yuji says, rotation, sword style. And of course, he does use ice style with it, and kind of freezes Toto's legs, and start hitting multiple times Toto, and Toto kind of fell backwards, knocked out. But yeah. This is where, the blood user went and ran towards him, and says blood manipulation, piercing. Shoots at Yuji, and this is where Yuji says rotation. Bounces it off, and then rushes at the blood user. This is where the blood user thinks that he's going to use his hand. This is where Yuji grabs both of the blood user's hands, because the guy was kind of wide open. He was ready to block it or whatever, or tried to use his blood manipulation to kind of reinforce his arms, until Yuji grabs both of his arms and kicks him twice in the head. This is where, he is shocked to believe that Yuji decides to just kick him in the head. And this is where, Yuji, when he kicks the person in the head multiple times, he also then knees him right in the fucking face, knocking him out. This is where, Yuji is now looking at Maya. Maya is kind of shocked. She's kind of horrified to see that her whole team who was specialized to go after Yuji to kill him, is knocked out. So yeah, this is where, well, Yuji, he can see Maya's horrified face until we go into a flashback. Yuji is now 12 years old, and when he's going towards what they call his clan house and all that, well, everyone was kind of, well, what's it called, dying. This is where Yuji was running. Yuji was saying, Mom, Dad. This is where, well, he can't find his parents. And of course, this is where he ran towards seeing Neji. Neji was kind of on the ground, coughing up blood. This is where, well, Yuji says, Neji, are you okay? What happened to, what's it called, Mom and Dad? This is where Neji says, Yuji, is that you? It seems this virus isn't affecting you. I don't know where this virus came from, but Yuji, listen to me. You're a strong kid. I know what's it called Mom and Dad did. They sealed the tail pieces inside you, so you wouldn't die. The guardians, 9 guardians and other creatures, so you wouldn't die. We were only doing this just in case you became 12. Someone predicted that virus would wipe us out. That's why we believed in you, so don't worry about us. Yuji says, no, don't die. No, I can help you. This is where Yuji tries to perform what's it called, medical jutsu, and Yuji just slowly passes away and closes his eyes. Yuji says, no, don't die, don't leave me. This is where we go back into the present time. And when what's it called, Maki and Fujiwara and Junpei was kind of frozen, so yeah. Fujiwara says, Yuji. This is where Yuji started crying. He's kind of unconsciously just fighting, but yeah. Of course, tears are rolling up in his eye. And of course, Maya can see this. Maki and Fujiwara saw this. This is where Yuji he gets out of what's called the memories that he keeps flooding back. And see that he's crying. He then wipes it off and says, what the hell am I doing? No, that just shows weakness. This is where, well, Fujiwara says, Yuji, are you okay? Yuji says, yeah, I'm okay. So Yuji just jumps away. Just disappearing. He doesn't jump away. He just used body flicker to disappear. That's where Maya says, what the? Wait. Could he be? But I seen him and that was 10 years ago. That can't be. Could it? But yeah. She's now knowing who Yuji is. But not exactly. So yeah. This is where, well, Yuji is right now on a somewhat hill and trying to get rid of the crying. Because the tears keep coming down. And of course he's trying to get rid of them. Son of a bitch. Stop crying, you fuck. No. Damn it. What the hell? But of course, with Yuji kind of doing that, he says, damn it, stop crying. But yeah, of course, something is right now, well, not something, someone or something is seeing him. And of course, he can't do anything. He wants to just help Yuji, but it's not the time. Not just yet. Of course, this is where the barrier happens, and of course, this is where everyone's kind of shocked and how it's happening. But yeah, this is where, well, Gojo and the others are rushing towards the what's it called barrier. But yeah, but of course, this is not where I'm gonna leave it off. So of course, this is where Yuji kind of sees the barrier and all, and of course, he's saying, "What the hell just happened?" Yuji kind of gets right into seeing what the hell is happening. He activates his Byakugan gun, and of course, it's icy blue. So of course, yeah, he's looking around. Of course, you can see the knocked out Kyoko students and even the Tokyo students. But yeah, of course, this is where something happens. Togo actually runs out and tells what to call, well, not Yuji or anything like that. Kind of runs out, jumps out, kind of does a flip and lands next to what's called Maki, Fujiwara, and Maya. And this is where, well, Maki says, what is wrong, Togo? Togo says, that thing. Or he doesn't say that thing, he says salmon. He points at where he's kind of looking at. This is where they see the specialized cursed creature name or cursed spirit named Hanami. Now of course Hanami says, it seems that I will have to kill a bunch of you. Now of course this is where Todo, the blood user and the other start waking up and say, "What just happened? Oh shit! Isn't it a specialized spirit?" This is where all of them said, and this is where Maki says, "Yup." This is where um, not Maki. Maya was actually a little bit further away from the others, was kind of next to the tree and kind of near the specialized. She was scared. This is where, the specialized says, "Well, I will kill you first." This is where, like, one of the spikes rushes at her and was about to pierce her until something jumped in front of her and blood actually hits her in the face. Not her own blood, but something else. Yuji. Yuji says, "Can you fucking move?" This is where, Maya says, "Why did you protect me?" Yuji says, "I don't have time for this shit." Ice doll. Ice frostbiter. This is where it freezes the ice, kind of just go towards the original user of, who uses this wood spike or anything. And of course, it's going towards the call Hanami. Hanami sees this and of course jumps away when what's called the ground just freezes below. But yeah, Yuji breaks out and says, "Guess I'm dying slowly. Doesn't matter." This is where, what's it called? Maya says, "Why did you do that? You could have let me die." Yuji says, "Shut up and go already." Yuji's kind of hurting real bad. This is where, Maya says, "But you're hurt." This is where Yuji says, "Go." This is where Yuji activates, his Sharingan. And of course, he's about to just rush at what's called, the cursed spirit. But this is actually warm. Leave it off. So yeah, have a nice potato day. Potato night, potato seed, potato, potato. Now, yeah. I don't know what to say else, but yeah, this is actually warm. Leave it off. But yeah, I already said potato, potato. Bye bye. And yeah, no, that's not the 2.1K. I'm still thinking of what to do on that one, but yeah, I'm only doing this because I kind of got bored and thought of this. Couldn't think of anything else, so I just decided to do this one. But yeah, bye bye. Potato, potato.